What's going on there, guys? We back with another one. And today we got to talk about Skip Bayless and some comments he made on his podcast. Now, Skip Bayless was talking about Tom Brady's roast and, Kevin Hart, some of those guys, they really dug in deep. And some of the jokes, I don't know if Tom Brady was 100% comfortable with, but roast ain't made for you to be comfortable. People just laughing at things that or saying things that people thinking out loud, but that could be a little too close for comfort, man. But uh, you know, Tom Brady, that roast has been going viral, and Skip Bayless was talking about who he would want to be on his. So he brought up a couple of names. I mean, obviously he's talking about Keyshawn Johnson, Michael Irvin, Lil Wayne, everybody that's kind of on his team now and rocking with him over there at FS1. But he said two interesting names, Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe. And, Stephen A. obviously has he's been saying he wants to win and he wants to be number one, but he definitely wants Skip Bayless to do well um, with his show. And Shannon Sharpe, we don't know, the dynamics of that relationship at this point. We saw how the end was happening. They kept it professional, but you could tell, after a few events transpired that the energy just wasn't the same on that set. So Skip Bayless, he talked about those two possibly doing his roast if he were to have one. This is what he said. Let's peek.
Who would you want on stage during the Skip Bayless roast? Well, Liam, as you just heard, not a big roast fan to start with. Honestly, I hope I never have to sit through my own roast. Who knows? Maybe. For charity, maybe. I guess I would submit to it. But if I did, I would want, number one, my wife at my side, Ernestine. She would have a lot to say, but I don't know that she would go that public with it, but I could be surprised. Number two, I'd want my brother Lil Wayne there. And then in no particular order, I'd want Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe and Keyshawn Johnson, Michael Irvin and Richard Sherman, my current and former bosses, Eric Shanks, Charlie Dixon, Jamie Horowitz, Norby Williamson, and for sure my best friend from childhood from Oklahoma City, the radio legend that is Craig Humphreys. But my fear would be that most, if not all, of these relationships would end by the end of that night. That's roasting for you.
So Skip, he kind of hinted at he might not be able to take what they're saying about him and roast. That's tough for people to sit there and dig at you and be made fun of on television like that. But he did say Shannon Sharpe, and he said those friendships would end at the end of the night, which had me thinking like, is him and Shannon Sharpe actually friends at this point in their life? That's an interesting question. Had they talked behind the scenes is what I was thinking. Stephen A. Smith obviously is still, maybe they're cordial. They may not talk for long periods of time, but they probably are, pretty cool when they see each other. But it was interesting to hear that, man. And when I think of this, I think of Shannon Sharpe and down the road. We won't see that right now. It's still a little too soon, but maybe 2, 3 years, 4 years pass by. If Club Shay Shay is still going strong and he's doing his interviews, if he brings Skip Bayless on the platform, that may be the one interview. It may not get Cat Williams type numbers, but it will be one of his most watched interviews. That could be just the dynamics between the two, right? Especially if they're not seen out socializing or saying anything to each other in public over, a long period of time. People see that, they'll be like, um, what are they saying to each other? How did this interview go? And I think Shannon Sharpe, as a businessman, trying to get content, I think maybe that's something he'll explore down the road. Skip Bayless, uh, however you feel about him, he was able to bring in Stephen A. Smith at a time. after ESPN had let Stephen A. Smith go to give him the first take platform to relaunch himself, and now, Stephen A is out of here as far as some of the things he's doing. And then when I say out of here, I mean he's big time. He's doing big things in the media space. And Shannon Sharpe, when he brought him in, he was able to articulate himself in a way where he created a brand and with Club Shay Shay, and he didn't just say that on TV. He turned that into his podcast, his Yak and Miles and all that. You think about how that started as an idea and where it has gone now for him, and then to expand in the nightcap, to go over the first take. So now Shannon Sharpe's doing all types of different things, and right now ESPN is negotiating a contract with him. He's it's been reported that he's talking like Pat McAfee type numbers annually, for him to stay. But they're talking about doing some football programming with Shannon Sharpe too. So he's got a lot going on. But I would wonder, like, down the road, with Skip and Undisputed struggling like they are, they may even cancel at some point, and I would wonder what would be next for Skip. Would he just do his podcast, just for the love of journalism, or would he just kind of take a break? Because he's been getting up every day for years, except for when they have a vacation here or there. You know what I'm saying? So I was just thinking about that. But Shannon Sharpe, honestly, that is one of the interviews everybody want to see, because one thing they can't take away from that time is what Undisputed was able to do, and the moments they had together, because that was the one show, like when Skip left First Take and went over to FS1, him and Shannon, everybody that's doing good now, his show and Shannon's show, it was contingent upon that being good, or that hitting its marks, and it hit its marks for years. So now you got the Nick Wright show, you got the Emmanuel Acho show, but that's all because Skip and Shannon was able to knock it out the park. So sometimes you go through things with people, and yeah, you may not be able to work together no more, but you can look back and reflect, and you see that launching pad. Like, I know Shannon Sharpe at this point, he separated himself from the situation. So now you could look back and recognize like how instrumental that platform was for him to get to where he is now. So I think Skip's done some wonderful things. And if Skip would be down to do that interview with Shannon, I would definitely be down to see it. I want to know what you guys think about that. You think Shannon Sharpe should invite Skip Bayless on Club Shay Shay? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.
Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down.
I'm not going to take it down.
Skip, 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 Skip.